Coffee Mug Decals is one of the biggest brands in the LEGO decaling industry, along with another brand, JONAK Toys. These are two very good decaling companies, and they both sell very high quality products. I personally use both of them on my own clone armies. But if you want to for sure know which of the two is better, this is the video for you, because I bought a bunch of each and applied them all so that I could figure out which of these two companies is actually better. In order to figure out which of the two products was actually superior, I came up with a 5-category system which I could go through in detailing 5 of the most important parts of the decaling process, starting with the designs of the decals and the print quality of the decals, the application process, the prices of the decals, and the shipping costs plus time, because those two things mattered a lot. But before we can get into the actual comparison, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. All right, now that you've done it, without further ado, here are the decals that I will be comparing. So the two decals that I have here that are actually applied to Clone Troopers, I've got a Captain Rex in the RP2 style from Coffee Mug Decals right here in the middle, and then to the left you can see a Phase 2 Rex. This is the 2020 style from JONAK Toys. Now, there's a clear difference just from the start. You can see the cloth obviously would not be included in a normal comparison of this, and obviously in the normal comparison it will not be included, but it is something that I had on there. And then on the right side you can see my Shock Trooper in the 2020 style of a Jump Trooper, and then the Jump Trooper of the 212th Legion in the RP2 style from Coffee Mug Decals. Obviously, these are not the same style of decal, but the print quality, all of the detailing remains the same, so it's about all I've got for that. But in the back, we've got the 2022 style Shock Trooper decal from JONAK Toys. You can see the logo up there in the top left corner. And then in the bottom of the corner, so you can't really see this one, but Coffee Mug Decals logo on the RP2 13th Grunt decal. And so those are two of the decals before they've been cut. I wanted to show those to you guys just so you could get a look at what they really look like. But now let's get into the comparison. Now getting into the actual comparisons between these two decals, the designs of the JONAK Toys are just superior in my opinion. You can see so much more detail and just accuracy put into them, especially when you compare, like on the Rex, the torso scratches or whatever those are just look so much better on the JONAK Toys, things on the torso. And then obviously on the 2020 style, or not 2020, the realistic style from the CMD, he doesn't even have a comma or a printed pauldron, which surprised me a lot. But obviously you can buy that and add it on, but still, I really kind of like the way it looks anyway. Then the detailing on the face is just so much better on the 2020 style from JONAK. Same thing with the RP2, or not RP2, the 2020 style Jet Trooper in the Shock. It just looks really, really good and really, really crisp, and everything just looks very accurate to the 2020 style of Clone Trooper. We of course just can't forget that JONAK has way more designs and way more accurate designs than CMD. Another thing which you can see on the legs, and this is not true of all of the JONAK Toys decals, but they go all the way down to the foot, which is very, very impressive. It's the majority of the ones for JONAK. Coffee Mug Decals, however, does not really have the foot decals on most of their Clone Troopers. It's only on some, which is a little bit disappointing because obviously all Clone Troopers have feet and details on their feet, so I would expect those, but they all kind of get cut off at the same line that LEGO would, and at that point I might as well just be buying custom printed legs, if not for the price. So overall, the design category goes to JONAK. On to the comparison of the print quality, JONAK again wins because you can see the lines on this Rex, which I put it in for a closer view for you guys to see, just looks so much clearer. The colors pop way more, everything is much more crisp, and even zooming in more, the printing itself is a lot better. And it's kind of hard to see in this, but the JONAK Toys is printed, I think, from a different style of printer than CMD. So CMD's printer is in a bunch of lines, but JONAK's is, well, not, which makes it just look all that much better. But backing up again, you can see like the legs, the print quality isn't quite as good. The torso, not quite as good. And then the face, this is the really important part. So on the CMD, the decal tore super easily when I messed up with it, which obviously I shouldn't be messing up with it. I need to be working on that, of course. But the JONAK Toys made the same mistake, and look how intact it is. It still looks amazing, but the CMD just doesn't get it there. It's the same thing over when you look at the Jump Troopers, where you can really see a lot more blemishes and tears on the decal from when I was using it to, apply it and all, than you can on the JONAK Toys, you can with the CMD, which is, not as impressed with that as I feel like I should be. But overall, print quality goes to JONAK. On to the applications process category, and this is one of the more important categories in my opinion, because if the application process doesn't go smoothly, then you wasted your money. So you have to make sure that the application process is going to be good. And for both of these, I am happy to say that I had a great time applying the decals. They slid off of the back sheet very easily. Both are actually, I believe, the same brand of paper. Yeah, laser clear, so it should not be very big of a difference in the application process between these two. I've touched on before that I had a little bit more trouble with the CMD decals, but that was partly due to my error and the print quality, so I'm not going to give it to JONAK just like that in this category. But overall, very much the same, so I'm going to go ahead and give that actually as a tie because I don't think there's one that's clearly better than the other in that category. Onto the pricing category, right here you can see some of the CMD decals, which are about $1.09 per decal, which is basically $1, very cheap. You can get the decals not counting for the body. This is basically the price of the whole clone trooper. So very, very cheap, and you can see a lot of the actual designs that he's got here as well. I pulled up the Captain Rex just to show you that the price does not change, in fact, when you go between the decal types. And it's the same thing here with JONAK toys. The pricing is very similar. It's about $1.25 per decal. This is all the basic ones, of course. You can also get them in packs from JONAK toys, which is very, very nice. I considered getting a Hauser pack. But beside the point, the price again does not change between the types, although you will see with the more detailed decals, some of the pricing does go up. But overall, this is going to have to go to CMD just by default, even though it's such small amounts of money, you really don't notice that much difference in the pricing. And then onto the shipping process, which both were very, very similar. I buy the thing, it's shipped out on whatever the day is that it says it will be shipped out, and then it arrives when it says it will arrive. Very, very straightforward, very simple. Shipping prices were both about $5 each, so nothing very different there either. And just when you think it's looking like it's going to be a tie, I realized that I had a bad experience with JONAK shipping, which really kind of took it out of me. Although it ended up being great. So you'll have to listen to this really quick so we decide who wins. But I did have a JONAK Toys purchase that I bought of a bunch of decals just not shipped for like 2 weeks, even though it was supposed to go out the day after I bought it. And it didn't ship. But it all ended up being fine. I sent a message to JONAK on Discord and he said, hey, sorry about that. I'll have it shipped out today. And he shipped it out and I got it in like 3 days. And it was not only what I had ordered, but I got many other things that I had not asked for. Several decals that I was very happy to get. A couple of shock jump troopers that I had not ordered, and I was very, very happy, including that one on there, along with Rex Pauldron. The Pauldron you can see on there right here, and comma is actually, I did not pay for it. I got it from JONAK for free because he was late on my shipping. So, you know, it was arguably worth having it shipped later. So overall, I'm going to give it to JONAK just for being so great with the shipping, even though, yeah, I mean, it was late, but I got more than I asked for, and I was happy with it. So, yep, overall, JONAK. So that leaves us with the final score of CMD having won 1 and tied 1, and JONAK having won 3 categories and tied 1 category, meaning that JONAK overall is much better. I very much agree with that. The print quality is just so much better. The designs are a lot better. He has so many more designs, which are really awesome to choose from. And CMG is also great. And overall, if you want to get your decals really fast without having to worry about shipping time and stuff, then I would go with CMD. But JONAK is just better if you've got the time and the money. Even though it's slightly more expensive, it's more worth it in my opinion. So overall, it's JONAK. And thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. And that's the end of the video.